Welcome to Save Par Golf Podcasts, where two average golfers talk about golf and things. I'm your host, Eric.
I'm your host, Dominic.
In today's episode, we are making up for lost time. A high school female golfer cards a 57, Rory wins the CJ Cup, and Brooks and Bryson facing off in the 5th edition of the match. Dom, we're in episode 20 on our 4th attempt creating this podcast.
It's been one of those nights.
It has been. We thought third time was a lucky charm, but apparently we're on number 4, and hopefully this is the last recording, right?
Who would have thought adding another microphone would cause such an issue in Adobe?
Yeah, we're going to have to look into that. We were super pumped about the two microphones, but you know what? We got one and we're making it work.
It's weird that, it works.
It does work.
But then it crashes, and then one's super loud, and then the other one is super quiet.
I think the third time or the second time we recorded, I think we were literally talking for 20 minutes, and we didn't even realize it just totally
died.
Shut down.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
Yeah, so we were having a good conversation. So the second recording probably was our best recording.
Unfortunately.
But that's okay. We're here. We're going to make it work. Kind of a lot to cover. NBA is back. NHL is back. Mm-hmm. So we're going to certainly talk about those things. We got off topic right away in the beginning.
We got playoff baseball going.
Playoff baseball, that's right. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But I wanted to say that he's back. And by that, I mean Rory.
Mr. McIlroy.
Mr. McIlroy wins the CJ Cup, which is his 20th PGA Tour win of his career, which is incredible, really. That's impressive. And again, we kind of were talking about this earlier, but we didn't watch much of it, but it just looked like he was back to his old self, right? He just had that smooth swing. He just looked like he was dialed in.
It looked like he was having fun again.
I completely agree. And there was that quote from earlier, a couple of weeks ago, where he admitted about chasing speed and trying to kind of emulate Bryson's, It basically kind of hurt his swing because he was trying to swing out of his shoes essentially.
I feel like he's talked about it before that he was doing that. Because I thought earlier in the season he was saying that he changed his swing to kind of compete with Bryson, and that's why he wasn't swinging as well, or,
It definitely has got to be one of those things where you think about it because you know it's there, and it's the media, the attention is really all eyes on Bryson, and Bryson did actually have a really good season. So I mean, his swing and everything, it was effective. It's working.
It's got to be a little disheartening seeing him swing and just demolish the golf ball, and then you look at Rory, who for basically his entire career has been known as a long ball hitter.
Very long ball hitter. Yeah,
hits very hard.
Too. He's not. Yeah. He's muscular, but he's not like a big guy.
But then you see Bryson go from this twig to what he is now, and he just smashes the ball.
Yeah, he can grip and rip. He is the perfect explanation or description of grip and rip. That's for sure. So it definitely would be a mental thing, and I think that's what we were talking about before. It's these players have the talent. But it really comes down to the psyche, the mental aspect of the golf game, and I think that's where Rory kind of mess with him. So it's good to see him back on track. Another guy that I'm really excited about is Ricky. Said I think he's going to have a good season. I'm hoping that he gets at least a victory, one victory on the tour.
Yeah, not even a major, just
doesn't even have to be a major.
Yeah, just to win. I think anything to kind of get his. Not really momentum, but just, get the ball rolling. You kind of get that one win, and then it leads to another one, and maybe he comes out on top this year with the major. It's hard to say.
I'm hoping so, but again, he was leading going into the final round yesterday, but he still at least finished tied for third, so it's a good place to be.
Who is he tied with? Was it Rahm?
It's a very good question. Let me look up the...
I thought I saw Jon Rahm.
No, no, Jon Rahm wasn't even. He was actually playing in the. He was playing in Italy, I believe, or something like that. It was, I believe, Keith Mitchell. So Rory was number one. Colin Morikawa was number two. and then Keith Mitchell and Fowler finished tied for third.
Oh.
Yeah, John Rahm actually. He speaking of John Rahm, he was saying basically he just wanted to just take a break. He kind of had a frustrating. He was playing in the if I butcher this, I apologize, but Valderrama golf course. They were like kind of comparing it to like the Augusta National, like from where it's at. And I'm trying to think of. I want to say it's in like Spain. But yeah, he missed the cut there, I believe, and he just had a.
So speaking of Italy, I know last time we were talking about how we were going to take a Ryder Cup trip to Italy.
Yep.
I priced it out.
What were we thinking?
I got bored at work in the morning. The hard part is you can't plan one that far out on a lot of travel sites just because you almost need like a person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a person. I'd rather just do it all online.
I agree.
So if we left like a couple days before and then we left like the day after, got a hotel, round trip flight, it's like a little over $2,000 for each of us.
Okay.
Which, I mean, that's round trip, hotel, and Italy. Dude,
It's Italy.
I'm in. I want to go.
I would love to go.
I know, and then you're like, oh, we can go to Canada. You can't. The pizza is better in Italy. I can promise you that. There's nothing wrong with Canada.
We definitely gotta go there though too.
I priced out that too. We can go to Banff. We'd do a flight and then hotel and everything.
I'd love to go to Banff. That would definitely be the place to go if we're gonna go to Canada.
But it's the only real place I want to go in Canada.
Yes. So to bounce back, John Rahm basically was saying like he's gonna take like basically a month off.
I don't blame him.
It's like I don't blame him either.
No, I mean he had, a great year, and it would have been better if it weren't for COVID. But you could say that about anybody realistically. But I think he got the short end of the stick compared to everybody by kind of a good amount. Being pulled from a couple tournaments. But he bounced back. He had a good year. Is he still the world number one?
Yes, I believe he
then
is.
Then he can't really complain. But yeah, he deserves a break.
He got that one tournament where he basically he was winning by how many strokes
and then just pulled him.
Yeah. So I think he's a fantastic golfer. Granted, he's the best in the world right now. So obviously he's super super good. But and I just want to confirm that because now that we're saying, I'm pretty sure he is world ranking number 1. Yes, behind John Rahm. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. So the other kind of interesting take here was, I believe her name is Macy Pate.
Is this that high schooler?
Yeah, a North Carolina high school sophomore. She shot a 57, breaking the North Carolina High School Athletic Association 18-hole scoring record, which doesn't surprise me after shooting a 57. But that it's insane. She had 14 birdies and she did not have any bogeys. And I posted something on my Instagram, and it's so funny, like how many people are just negative, of like
because
you're like, well, what's the yardage? It's like,
who cares? I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that if we were playing a small executive course.
Yeah, that's unreal. 57, good for her, and not only that, she's 16 years old. So it sounds like she's kind of like a super stud.
She's like a
golfer.
phenom.
Yeah, she's I think one of the best, if not the best, ranked high school golfer in the state of North Carolina. So and that's pretty cool. We've always kind of been advocates for growing the games for the in general, but it's really cool to see some of the female golfers.
My big issue is like you were saying that she's getting a lot of hate. If Tiger did that, they'd all be applauding him or whatever, and a 16-year-old girl just kicked everybody's ass, shot a 57. Who cares what the yardage is? Could you do that? I for sure couldn't.
I mean, to not card a bogey on a card, let alone 14 birdies.
It's
insane.
Bogeying the first hole like I do every round.
I'm normally double bogey the first hole, and then I'll kind of settle down.
I know I'm being generous.
Yeah.
I'm talking myself up. I'm putting it into existence. I think she deserves as much praise as she's gonna get, if not more. she did a fantastic. I mean, it's great. You know, growing the game. 16, shot of 57.
I'm thinking like 57, like on the back nine of my opening round to start the year off. That's kind of like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but there's always critics and there's always people that are going to complain, and you know, you're typing behind a little, you know, a phone. So
it's so easy to be a little keyboard warrior, and
yeah.
I mean,
so
good for her.
I definitely
though.
wanted to bring that up because I thought that was really impressive, and it sounds like she's off to a good start for a great career for golf. So,
where was she?
it was in North Carolina.
Okay.
The tournament. It was a tournament. That
I was just wondering what state.
Yeah. She's out of North Carolina, so good for her. And then we have the fifth.
Could you have any more tabs open?
I got tabs like crazy. I got my iPad up, got my iPhone out. I got tabs everywhere. I'll open up another tab just to.
Is it at least ESPN?
This one is, yeah. So checking up on all the stats, we got the.
Did he score again?
They're ruling it down.
Thank
We're watching
God.
the Monday night game. Cole Beasley's kind of going off, but I don't know if it's a touchdown or not. But in any case, so now we got what? Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka are like what, buddies? Do you think they like secretly just planted all this in the beginning?
I've been saying it.
There is a conspiracy, right?
I've been saying it since like the first time we brought it up. I felt like it was all fake, right?
I kind of do remember you saying something.
Because I always felt like it was, you know, Bryson just going like, I'm gonna go bug him for a little bit, and then Brooks being super mad about it. I never felt like it was super serious.
Okay, so if that was the case, who's the better actor? Do you think Brooks? Because a lot of people say like Brooks hated Bryson.
No, I think Brooks is truly just an asshole.
Think so?
Everything about him says yes. I mean, his favorite beer is a Mick Ultra.
Well, he's sponsored by them. We don't know if it's his favorite beer,
but still,
yeah.
If you have to somewhat like it to be sponsored by him, right? Like, are you going to take a sponsorship from somebody you don't like? Because if I got sponsored by an IPA, I wouldn't do it because I don't like IPAs. Hate to break it to you.
I'd do it. But I like IPAs. So I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Right. Like, he just seems like that guy to drink Michelob Ultras for fun. You know, he's going to go, watch me, you know, drink the whole 12-pack. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a Mick Ultra.
Is Bryson sponsored by some sort of protein shake or bar?
I hope so. I hope it's those little, like, ones you buy from Costco. The chocolate ones, the Premier.
I love those.
Those are good.
Bryson did kind of thin out again. Like, he's still big. Like, it was like he went into this transition of being like super skinny to like very big but muscular to like now just being muscular.
I think he's more fit.
Yeah, he's more fit.
But
I don't know. I gotta give it to both of them. They
they did
Allen for a TD.
No, he caught it.
Oh, he did.
He caught it. Knox.
Okay.
This is why we can't do this with games on.
I know, because we just get so sidetracked. I love
Vrabel looks
every time like something happens that good for Buffalo, they just zoom in on the coach.
Watch this. Boop. I'm like, oh.
That was a nice little play.
That was slick. I am for sure dropping it. I feel like that play is so overdone that, you know, it should be covered by now, but it's not.
Yeah, just switch it up every once in a while. We definitely got sidetracked with the football game going on. But I do think that if they aren't really, I mean, there might have been a little bit of
I'm sure there's a little
hatred, but maybe they really did get annoyed, and maybe Bryson, like the mad scientist, was like, "Hey, listen to this. You might not like me, but
yeah,
check this out."
I mean, maybe they didn't like each other, but I don't think it was like a hatred towards anybody, you know?
Yeah. But in any case,
they're buddies now.
The Ryder Cup was awesome to watch.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about this, but I'm just saying, like, they rekindled everyone. It's funny how, like,
they rekindled the romance.
The romance is there. The sparks are flying.
Especially on the eve of the Bachelorette. It starts tomorrow. I thought it was today.
Yeah. I've heard so many things about it. People like love watching that show.
I'm in a fantasy league.
No way.
I am.
Get out of here.
You want me, I can add you.
No, I'm not playing no fantasy. I don't follow that. That's funny. There is a fantasy league for that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's 3 different styles.
we'll save that for another episode.
So one of them is like you can set it up to be advanced, and that's what we did the first time, not knowing what it was. So say you're on The Bachelorette, right? And you're competing for your wife's love because for some reason she chose a dog over you, which could happen.
Very true.
If you say keywords and I have you on my team, I get points.
That's insane.
But we play it to like who's going to get a rose, who's she going to pick type of thing. Just easier. You don't have to follow as much.
Isn't there like insider information? You just look it up online?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could look to see who won. I don't want to.
Right. That is crazy. I did not know that they had fantasy.
You can make anything.
Well, true.
In the fantasy. You can gamble on anything.
But that is true too. Speaking of gambling, there is going to be some heavy gambling on the Bryson and Brooks 5th edition of the match. However, I'm still trying to figure out why it's 12 holes. I'm not really sure why it's
so Brooks can have a McUltra every hole.
Yeah, so exactly. It's going to take place on the day after Thanksgiving.
It's Black Friday.
Yep. And it's going to be at the Wynn Golf Club in Las Vegas. The funny thing about the Wynn Golf Club, when I first time went out to Las Vegas, my uncle and I were going to go play a round of golf, and we were staying near the Wynn, and we just walked over there. And we went in just to see what a round would cost. $500 to play the Wynn golf course.
Is it worth it?
I don't know, but we laughed. We laughed and then walked out. We played Valley High, which is arguably now it's about a $300-400 round of golf, and we played it for like $120 with rental and cart.
Well, I feel like anything that expensive in Vegas isn't worth it because it's Vegas.
Yeah,
but then I feel like they're also banking on it being expensive because it is Vegas.
I mean, it's literally right behind the resort, the hotel, so it's like right there, which is pretty cool. But we played Valley High, which is a really awesome course. So, but yeah, no, that'll be kind of fun. It's going to be on, I believe, on TNT, TBS, and was it True TV? I think.
True.
Is that what they call it? True TV. Yeah.
Kind of some of the trashier.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I feel like Cops is always on that show, on that network, like old reruns. So that's going to be on. I'm excited to kind of watch it. I'm definitely going to tune in. I think it'll be fun. I think the meme makers are going to be on a roll on Black Friday.
Oh,
I can't wait to be posting.
There'll be stuff full of turkey and broke, but hey, we got Brooks and Bryson playing 12 holes.
12 holes again. I don't know what the whole deal
That's
is.
so weird.
I'm pretty sure when golf originated, when it first started in Scotland, I think that it was 12 holes.
But
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
We're not in Scotland,
no.
And it's 2021. Play 18.
They gotta get back for dinner. I don't know.
It's Black Friday.
I know. Maybe they're trying to shop for some deals. We don't know.
I mean,
there's that.
That's true. You're not wrong.
There's that. Yeah, there's that. NHL is back. We talked about that. We're big Wild fans. They're 2-0. They come home tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Home opener.
Mm-hmm.
So pushing for a 3-0 start. NBA starts on Wednesday.
We are gonna get Well, we're not playing Wednesday, are we?
Yeah.
Are we?
This Wednesday.
We're gonna get killed.
No.
Who are we playing?
The Rockets.
We're gonna get killed.
Rockets are kind of in shambles.
Let's put like this. Last time you and I.
You want to put a bet on it though?
No.
Just a small bet.
All right.
$5.
$2.
$2. Okay, let me check the spread. Yeah, we went to the
playoff game, and
literally, remember, we were like playing actually really well in the first half, and then we went to go get a beer. And
I couldn't drink. I wasn't 21.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't. I went to the bathroom and waited in line to get a beer.
And you were gone the entire third, and that's when they dropped 50 on us.
But yeah, I got back and we were down like 23 points. Like, what the heck just happened?
They dropped 50 on us, and then Jimmy Butler left, and now we suck again.
Yeah, and I have 2 brand new Jimmy Butler jerseys.
I know, because I bought you one.
They're nice. But yeah, I love the jersey. So I got to get Edwards jersey now. But yeah, they play on Wednesday, going to the game. I'm excited for that. I think the crowd's gonna be rocking. Obviously, it's a home opener, so I think there'll be a lot of people there.
But it's also the Timberwolves. Who do we have a new, whatever his name was, Rosas? Do we have a new one of him? Did they ever fill that position?
Well, yes and no.
Did they just like promote?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of more of an interim kind of type of.
We're
deal
screwed.
Right now. But I think everything is really kind of just on pause right now until once the the transaction with Alex Rodriguez and all that went through, but they technically don't have full control until 2023 or the end of 2022. So they still have technically a year and a half.
Which means we will then become the Seattle Supersonics.
Well, so I was going to bring this up. So there's in the buyout, which we've talked about before, that they don't have any plans to move the team. However,
imagine the PR backlash they'd get if they're like, yeah, we're just going to move you guys.
Well, this is just it. So the conspiracy that I've heard, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist at all, but from what I've heard is that the rumors are, which they have mentioned, I think John Krasinski, who's a kind of a pretty well-known Minnesota sports writer, they were mentioning that they want to build a new stadium.
Was that the dude from The Office that you just said?
John Krasinski. No, but there is a guy that's like John Krasinski or something.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty serious.
Because I feel like you just want to talk about The Office.
I do. I also want to talk about The Office.
Because when you said it, I was like, Jim?
Oh, is it? No. John.
Because at first I thought you were trying to say Coach K.
Oh, Coach K. No, that's my guy. John. Yeah, it's John Krasinski from The Athletic, and he's actually.
Okay.
It's spelled differently, but it's
like a craw.
Yeah, and he's actually awesome. He's very very good to listen to. I like listening to him, and so anyway. That's pretty funny. That was a good catch, though, because I never even put two and two
my
together.
gears were turning, and I was like,
this guy's lost his mind.
The Office? Like, what?
Where are we going with this? No, so they're talking about wanting to put a new stadium. This is Alex Rodriguez. And so Alex Rodriguez and the business partner is the former owner of Walmart. So these two are the majority owners that are going to take over. And they're wanting to put in a new stadium. But
where?
Well, I think they're trying to put it downtown somewhere. Not sure where. But
Seattle downtown or like here. Minneapolis downtown?
This is no, like Minneapolis downtown. But this is the thing. Of course, they don't want to pay for it. So it's like the bank, U.S. Bank. It's
the bank is TCF Bank, just so we're clear.
No, I'm talking U.S. Bank.
No, I know, but you can't call that the bank.
U.S. Bank Stadium was paid by tax dollars. It wasn't paid by.
Shocker. Yeah.
So, which was essentially the same thing that happened to the Seattle Supersonics. The owner of the Seattle Supersonics back in the day wanted a new stadium, and everyone said no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not everyone, but majority. And so he said, "Fine, I'll show you," and pulled out and moved to OKC.
Yeah.
So,
which is funny, middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean it's a good fan base now. But yeah, it's weird from going from Seattle to OKC. But I guess my point being is that's kind of the conspiracy is that it makes them look like now it's not a bad. They're not bad. If they do pull out and move away.
I've read different things. One thing I read was after they can't leave until the lease at Target Center's up, and that lease is up like 2025 or something like that. Because then they like refurbish it and then send
they
it.
Just put like a bunch of millions of dollars.
Like there's finally a bathroom in there that's not a trough.
Yeah, troughs were terrible.
Yeah, so I've read that.
And they put a bigger screen. Yeah, they've got millions of dollars.
Yeah, so I read that they can't leave until that lease is up.
That makes sense.
But then I've also read that the NBA would rather expand versus move a team.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
Well, that and it keeps everything the same. You just add it. It's like what the NHL did with Seattle, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody left. They just poof, here's a new team type of thing.
None of that too. You think about like they have to now give up players also too from their own team,
right?
So it's just, but
then again, it's like, yes, we have 4 major sport franchises, and it's super cool. Of the 4 that would potentially be okay with me getting like rid of, be the Wolves.
Yeah, I just hope they don't move. I mean, because honestly, I think if they do move, I think that this could be their turn where they'll be actually really competitive and be good because they have talent. And I know fans say this every year.
We said this last year. Yeah.
It's always the same things. Like if they can stay healthy, because a lot of them weren't healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But defense and being healthy is going to be the two main issues. And I think, though, that, only time will tell. But it's interesting to see. I think it's kind of weird that A-Rod and, like, a former CEO of Walmart own the Timberwolves now.
My favorite thing is Anthony Edwards still went, who's that?
Yeah, I had
like
no
that.
idea.
That's
He
my
was dead serious.
favorite.
I love that, too. So I know most people probably are bored listening to our Timberwolves talk for the last 15 minutes, but it's interesting, and I'm excited to watch them because, again, it's NBA is. Used to follow it faithfully, and then I tuned out for several years, and now I got kind of back into it. But I always still love to follow the Wolves.
My big gripe is we never get any of the cool jerseys. Like
they need the throwback black ones with the.
Well, they wore that not too long ago, but. Yeah, that's when D Rose dropped his 50 bomb or whatever he dropped.
Yeah,
but
career high of 52 or 50.
Something like that. But it's like they leaked like the Christmas Day jerseys. And of course we don't play on Christmas Day, so we don't get any of those. It's always like the Lakers, the Clippers, the Celtics, and then whoever.
Yeah, big money market teams.
That being said, I do have a retro KG jersey with the blue and the
green,
white.
The
trees. Yeah.
I love those jerseys.
Well, KG's the man. I'm still pissed I didn't let KG buy the team.
I know. If there was anyone to buy it,
KG.
He would be the guy. It's just that big feud between him and Glenn Taylor.
Oh, it's not even between them. It's just between Glenn. Although now KG called him a snake, which he is.
So, yeah, interesting thoughts on the Timberwolves. I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but these, like, John Krasinski, not The Office. But
I don't even like The Office, and I was like, that sounds wrong.
I'm proud of you, actually, because I'm obsessed with The Office, and you pointed it out. I didn't even put two and two together. But yeah, so he's pretty, like, what would you call it, reputable? Like, he's a pretty reputable person. He's on a lot of those local sports,
like radio and stuff.
So we'll see. And then there was something else that I wanted to mention too about. I was going to talk about a little bit about the Vikings, but there was.
Are we talking about the Wild?
Yeah, we're talking about the Wild. Oh yeah, you were talking about we were talking about jerseys. That's what I was talking. And you were saying earlier that you got the new.
Oh yeah, I have the new the whatchamacallit where they play outside jersey.
Yeah, the whatchamacallit. That's right. They're playing this year. Is it at Target Field?
Yeah, and I almost bought tickets.
Winter Classic.
Yeah. I was gonna buy tickets, but then
they're just uber expensive.
They're stupid expensive, and then I'm like, God, if it's stupid cold, and I spent a stupid amount of money on these tickets, I'm gonna feel dumb.
I will say, several years ago, my uncle's a huge Gopher hockey fan, and I used to love watching the Gopher hockey with him. I bought him tickets for the Winter Classic Gopher hockey game at the TCF Bank Stadium against Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
It was so unbelievably cold at the TCF Bank Stadium where we were sitting. Obviously, the seats were really nice, but they're on bleachers.
Yeah,
and it was just like, the experience was cool, but it's like if we were to do that again, we'd rather just drink beer and watch it at home.
Right. I actually got, because I was kind of in the mood to, like, because it's, tis the season for hockey and stuff, and I love yelling just go hockey or like yay hockey at Wild games because, like, it's fun. I somehow got 2 Wild tickets for like $100.
Oh, nice.
And they're not even bad. Like,
most of the seats are pretty legit anyway.
Well, yeah, and they're upper level, but we're row 2.
That's nice.
So it's like upper.
There's 3 levels, though.
No,
right? So you're middle,
there's
right?
2.
There's just 2?
2. So there's the ice, and then there's the 100 level.
Yep.
Then you go up. Well, I guess technically there's 3 if you count the clubs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
No, but really, I was thinking. So you're like up top. But
yeah.
There's still good seats.
No, you're on like the lip and everything. Yeah. So like if it collapses, you're for sure dead.
You think of that. Like, just imagine.
The big perk is though, there's never anybody up there. So it's like shorter line for food, shorter line for beer.
I hope. Yeah, that's the other thing. So I went to the Vikings game 2 weekends ago. Really cool, but their prices like went down a little bit, which I thought was kind of surprising.
Because we suck.
We do stink.
Yeah,
it's frustrating to watch.
Like we should not have won yesterday. Not a chance.
Well, yeah, I know it's crazy. How many dropped passes did
Robbie Anderson alone
They were even like making fun of the receivers for dropping it. It didn't surprise me that he dropped it there.
Like it's almost like.
And I like Darnold. Darnold's actually a good quarterback. I mean, I think the Jets traded him away, and I think they literally traded him away for like almost the same style quarterbacks. Like the Jets were bad.
So my thing with Darnold is if you build around him, he'll be good. But you could say that about literally any quarterback.
You could, but they're
if you build
now is not Mac Jones. He's on Patriots.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. He's a good young talent.
Are you sure? Because he does not look like it.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is like their team is so bad that Darnold didn't really look all that good on their team. But you could tell yesterday that Darnold even before going into the Vikings game, he's played actually pretty good.
Yeah.
He's not like going to be your MVP guy by any means. I'm not saying that. But like I think they prematurely traded him away for a guy that's really probably not even nowhere near as good as Sam Darnold.
Probably. I mean,
but the Jets are always really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what their deal is over
there. Yeah. I mean,
but from what I had seen yesterday, again, I normally watch every game. I watched about 80% of the game yesterday.
I actually snuck out of work and watched it a little bit, yeah, because the store next door has a TV, and I knew who was next door because I kind of know which cars are in the parking lot, and I knew he was gonna be watching the game. So I watched the last like 7 minutes of the fourth.
I'm surprised that Robbie caught that TD at the end of the game.
I'm not. I mean,
but the way that
he's so good, but he just. I don't know. It's just one of those games.
Something in his head or something.
Yeah, because I even said it to the guy. I'm like, man, if he catches one, that might be all he needs. And he caught the one, and then bam, he caught the touchdown. And you're like, I told you. I shouldn't have said it. But I also felt like we should have blown him out.
That's just it. That's what we did with the Lions the week before, that game that I went to. So.
Which we shouldn't have won either.
We should have won by a lot.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I think that's what's really frustrating.
It's same thing like yesterday, right? Like we were cruising, and then the fourth came along, and we're just like,
and it wasn't even and that's the frustrating thing as a Viking fan. Like,
they almost like
they put in cruise control, and it's like they're happy with being content.
Yeah, they're running on 1st and 10 and 3rd and 10, and you're like, well, what are you doing? Which is why I feel like we should fire Zimmer. However, I am not a football analyst by any means. I just watched the game and go, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's frustrating to watch. Yeah. It really is. But I was so surprised by how not cheap, but like a beer back in the day, what I remember was like $13, $14 at
the Dome.
The Dome, or even like the Wild Games, like $14.
I will say, at least at the Wild Games, they're like big beers though. You know, it's not like you're getting like a little itty bitty beer.
That is true. Yeah, you normally get like the bigger cups. But I mean, so the beer at US Bank was $9 and $10, which is still a lot of money.
I mean, that's pretty average. I mean, that's what you go.
It went down though. What I remember.
Well, I mean, at Target Field,
they're always there in a while though too.
Well, at Target Field, they're always like $10, $11. Granted, I think they'd be cheaper there because you're getting 81 games a season versus 8.
True. Maybe more if you make playoffs. But 8.
Knowing us, one and done. So at most 9.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So, but the cool thing with the game, we had really good seats, but they had like a fake snow.
Oh, I got the hiccups.
Scared me like what the heck?
I got the hiccups.
But they had like a fake snow in the beginning of the game. It was actually pretty dope.
I saw videos. I thought it was really cheesy.
It's kind of.
I think it's as cheesy as the skull clap.
I like the skull chant.
To me, the skull chant and clap thing only works when you're on the road.
It was pretty sweet.
Because you kind of expect that stuff at home, so you just doing it again, to me, doesn't go... doesn't make any advantage. How do you drop that? Idiots.
Son of a... And then the guy comes out of nowhere with his hands up. Wasn't even in the play. It's a good game though overall.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to November 6th. That's going to be UFC, probably one of the biggest fight cards of the year. Well, definitely the biggest fight card of the year besides Connor's. That was a bad fight. But and then Canelo Alvarez is fighting also. So it's like kind of I'm like torn. Gonna have like two. I'm gonna have to figure out two different.
Are we watching it? I'll come over.
Yeah, I'm trying to get something set up. We're gonna I don't know if we're going over to my in-laws or if we're going here, but yeah, I'll let you know. But that's gonna be kind of a. I'm excited, but also kind of like wish it was on two different weekends because it's like, hard to watch both because you watch the prelims. They're heading up to it, so we'll see. But there's a lot of good up and coming things coming up. That is the one thing that I like about kind of the colder weather. I'm not a huge fan of the colder weather as far as like the weather itself, but like
I am.
Once the season changes, you got hockey, basketball like in full swing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously football, playoff baseball. We haven't really talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't followed it as much. I do have a bet.
The Twins sucked, which nobody saw coming.
Yeah, we were
like legitimately. Well, we weren't supposed to win our division. Everybody kind of picked the White Sox, but we were at least supposed to get like the wild card or something. And we were worse than Detroit. We were worse than
division, weren't we?
Yeah, no, we went from like king of the world to like what the hell just happened.
Well, we did set like records for home runs the year before, didn't we?
That was a couple years ago.
Was that 2 years ago? Or a couple years ago?
Home runs mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Yes, it's a way to score, but I mean, if you look at it, right? Did we win the World Series after hitting the most home runs ever in a season? Did we make it past the first round that year? No.
No, it's because we got against the Yankees.
But still, I don't think we would have beat any other team.
It really comes down to pitching and defense.
It comes down to not even that.
You gotta catch fire though.
Right, but you also gotta have like clutch hits. Because me being a Cardinals guy, 17 straight is unheard of. It's not unheard of, but
pretty rare.
In that franchise, unheard of.
They're gonna win.
Well, right, and then they're playing the Dodgers and they scored first, and I was like pumped. I'm like, I'm not doing homework. I'm watching the game. Yeah. Let's go. And what did it come down to? A clutch hit.
And wasn't the Dodgers? The Dodgers were a favorite to win the World Series, and they were playing in the wild card play-in game, weren't they? That was a play-in game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a wild card. Yeah. And what's funny is they have more wins than Atlanta by a lot, and they're the away team.
Was it because the
Because the Giants
had
won
106 or 7 wins. Dodgers had 105 and 6 or something.
No, I think it was like 103 and 102.
That's crazy. They both got bounced. Well, not the Dodgers, but
I hope the Dodgers get bounced.
I know.
Well, the Cardinals had they didn't even touch 100.
Right, but they were good. Like you said, they caught fire though, and they won 7.
That's the only reason they made the playoffs. So was because of that, and now they fired their manager. So if I move away and quit my job, that means I got the job.
That's where you're gonna go.
Yeah,
that would be sweet.
I know, because I feel like I'd be a good baseball manager, because I would just be like, okay, Arenado, you're gonna hit a bomb, and that's gonna be your day. Goldschmidt, you're gonna hit another bomb, and that's gonna be it. Middle infielders and DeYoung, just don't drop it.
It's that easy.
We're right, DeYoung just drops it. You got Yachty behind the plate, who's just gonna yell at everybody for me. Perfect.
I think that would be the.
If I was a football manager or a coach, I had talked about this before. I'm cutting the punter and I'm cutting the kicker.
There is a coach that does not have. I want to say it's a high school or a college. I think it's high school.
Yeah, he's my spirit animal.
He's
I'm going for it on 4th because statistically it's easier, and going for 2 is statistically, you have a higher probability of getting it than kicking a field goal or an extra point at this point. So I'm cutting everybody, and I am just going for it. I'm also trading away my entire team for Derrick Henry. Is that the dude? No? Did you find the coach?
Kevin Kelly.
That sounds familiar. Because he either blows people out or he gets blown out, right?
Yeah, his philosophy is that he is his players to never punt, instructs his players to never punt, never field punts, and only to do onside kicks. His innovative philosophy team scored 29 points before the opponent ever touched the ball. So basically, he just onside kicks it, gets it, goes for 2, and then
it's smart.
Rinse and repeat. Yeah, rinse and repeat. If you're that good, hey, why not go for it? That's pretty it's genius, but it's also could backfire. But
it's an interesting take.
It really is. It kind of makes you think.
Well, I guess I looked at it as the Vikings. for some reason, we just refuse to go out and get a kicker. And everybody likes to blame the kicker. And I'm like, well, blame the team for not getting a kicker.
I think it's going to be like one of the hardest jobs in the NFL.
Everybody's like, you see videos of people kicking field goals and you're like, there's nobody running at you. There's no pressure on you because if you miss it, you just don't post the video.
Yeah, until you're the last play of the game that you've been sitting for the last 12 minutes doing nothing. You know, you
right.
practice.
And then all of a sudden you have these 300-pound dudes running at you. There's not
one chance to make it or miss it. You know what I mean?
There is not a chance that I make those. My favorite thing was when the double doink happened.
The double doink.
The double doink.
I love that.
There's one of my favorite breweries is Goose Island.
Oh yeah,
out of Chicago.
Yeah.
So they have a little like brewery bar thing set up, and they were having people kick 25-yard field goals or whatever the miss was from. Not a single person made it.
And it's 25-yard, and now what? The extra point is now 30.
Yeah, or whatever. Maybe it wasn't 25 yards.
But still, I know I get what you're saying.
And I was like, not so easy. I've always said I could not kick that ball.
Yeah,
not a chance.
I'm the same way. I think kicking is arguably one of the toughest positions in NFL.
I think it's the most like mentally grueling thing you could ever do. You know, because like with a quarterback, you're not expected to make every throw. You know, you're not expected to go 40 for 40 for 650 yards and 8 touchdowns.
And kickers don't really get any praise, like as far as like, because they might make 4 field goals in a game.
It's a very double-edged sword because, you know, if they go 5 for 5 and hit 2 from like 55, you're like, man, this dude's legit. And then you miss one and you're just like, man, cut him.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it was with Dan Bailey. Like, granted, he did have a couple bad games, but he's like the second most accurate field goal kicker ever, period, behind Justin Tucker, who we'll probably never see another one of. Yeah, you know, there are games where he was like, there's no way he's going to make this. And then he like drills it from like 55.
He's the one, he just set that record against Detroit, right? Was it 68?
That was in Dan Bailey. That was another
Justin
guy.
Tucker.
Oh,
that was Tucker.
Yeah.
Just this year, yeah.
Dude's
68.
an animal.
That's crazy.
I bet you he parties hard too.
Probably.
Attaboy.
Yeah, good for him if he does.
God. Honestly, if I could kick a ball that good, I would. 100%.
If I have a kid, like, I don't have the height or anything advantage, so I think I'm just gonna, if I have a kid and he's a boy, I'm just gonna just get him a football and start having him kick.
What Pat McAfee was saying is he would just kick a soccer ball at like a brick wall for hours.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Or I just put a golf club in the kid's hand.
Yeah. Or hear me out. Train to be a professional fighter. You could practice on like the little kids or whatever and just
professional fighter. It's funny because that's like the most extreme sport.
I know. I took it up a notch.
Yeah. Well, it's like football or hockey. Like, no, Mike is out there. What about ultimate fighting?
Yeah.
But like skip all the football.
Yeah. Because honestly, you could be like, oh man, he plays.
That's you go into wrestling though. Wrestling is the start.
So like, you know, it's like he's.
That's coming back.
Is it?
Yep.
You know, it's like there's different levels to it, right? It's like, oh yeah, my little 4-year-old loves to play disc golf. You're like, wow. And then there's us where like, yeah, they play golf. And then there's like me as a parent, like, no, he likes to beat up. He likes to beat up the trees in the backyard.
See those trees? Did you cut those down? No, my son did. Yeah, he's 4.
He punched them. Exactly. Like, yeah, I know realistically you should start with wrestling. No, I'm teaching him how to throw hands.
Straight throw hands.
He's going to throw some hands in parking lots.
It's funny you bring that up because there are some like really impressive videos of some of these kids that are like 7, 8 years old.
There's that girl with the braids. Just
absolute beast. Like, I'm scared of her.
I'm scared of anybody who can punch.
Like that? Yeah, for sure. Those people are like special human being, but they take so many shots to the head that it's just so bad. But I love it. I mean, I love watching it. That or
I want my kid to be like a driver. Like, not even like NASCAR, because it's like, oh boy. But like something cool. Like maybe he's like the next Von Gittin Jr. and just drifts. Yeah, I also don't know any other drifter than Von Gittin Jr. So if he sucks, I'm sorry.
Or he could just be a different drifter, just hop on a train.
Or he could be like a rally car driver. That'd be sweet.
Or one of those.
Like, yeah, my kid's 4 and he's
Formula One. That's pretty crazy.
I like Formula One.
That's
Yeah.
intense. I haven't watched that Netflix documentary, but it's like that series.
Yo, Michael Schumacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I've
know.
heard it's really good.
I know Florida has a Grand Prix, and I've wanted to go to it, but every time I go there, nobody else wants to go with me.
Yeah, well, they have the Daytona for NASCAR, but yeah, the Grand Prix. Is the Formula One, isn't that in Indiana? The
No idea. I don't know anything about Formula One other than, like, the track's really
It's
cool because they
intense.
shut down cities.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That, and they do it in cars, like the movie. That's pretty cool, too. They go to, like, Monaco. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Food. What is something that you've had recently that you...
Don't know if we talked about it in this one, but I know in one of our takes, we talked about the brisket from Chipotle.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Don't buy it. Because it just, like...
Yeah, he kind of explained it.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, the brisket itself, pretty good. But why would I want it with lettuce, cheese, sour cream, and then whatever salsa you get?
And then, like you're saying, it's like there was a lot of fatty.
Yeah, I got like a bunch of like chunks of fat and...
Yeah, I would definitely have to like do the old surveillance of me looking at it first before like I wouldn't just order online because like we were talking like
I did on DoorDash.
Yeah. And that's probably why because you probably would, if you would have seen it up
I probably wouldn't have.
ordered
No.
it, yeah. So that is the downside of ordering. And then they like they give you that incentive like they're gonna give you free delivery, but it's way more expensive. And again, like you said, it's like strategically you can like get a bag of chips and like a steak or a
Yeah.
still be cheaper.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
I normally get the chicken.
so do I.
Yeah, because, I mean, I used to only get the steak, but I had a lot of issues, like, with the... Is that a replay, or is it...
Yeah, it's a replay, but for a second I
okay.
didn't think that was.
My issue was, like, with the steak, I had a lot of chunks of fat in it, too. And I was like, this is just annoying. No, it's not a replay.
Yeah, it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's him. There's a flag came down. I think they're looking at it though to see if it actually was a flag or what happened.
I'm pretty sure they just did it again.
No, that's what I thought. They threw the flag right at the same time.
Oh.
Because at first I'm like, oh, he broke it again. But we do have it on mute, so we can't hear it. So it also kind of makes sense. We can't really pay it. You know, we're watching it, but not really watching it. Yep, it's coming back. That was an impressive run too, but
the best thing about the Bills is that their fans jump through tables, and I am I don't get it, but I love it.
That would definitely be like a place to go watch a football game.
I just want to tailgate. I don't even care to watch the game. I just want to tailgate and jump through a table.
Would you jump through a table if you went there?
If I got into enough, probably.
I feel like if you did, you wouldn't be. You'd be like you'd break your back because you already have back issues.
I'm already broken.
Might as well just.
Yeah. I call into work. Yeah, I jumped through a table.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. Can't really tell you what happened, but.
But yeah, the brisket. Like it's not bad, but it
That's a good transition back. But yeah, the brisket.
But it doesn't make sense. It'd be like us going to Runyon's and getting the roast beef.
Yeah, you gotta get the wings.
You gotta get the wings
fries.
and the fries.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of that, we still gotta make that happen because I missed that. I haven't been there forever.
I drove by it when I was coming here and I was like, that just looks good.
The place is so awesome. You think they're gonna come back? I think they're gonna score here, and then the Titans are gonna score one more time.
You know, it's probably like last night where they tied with a field goal. All hell breaks loose with like 2 seconds left, and then they tied again. I don't know.
If you're gonna rebuild a team with a quarterback,
Josh Allen. Yeah. He's got that kind of mix of, like, you know, you look at him and you're like, there's not a chance he's as, like, athletic as they say. And then he just hurdles everybody for fun.
I think I'm going to go with, like, Herbert's legit, obviously, too. But
I mean, but they just got blown out.
They did. They got steamrolled. But I still like Kyler Murray.
I don't know if he's going to last long term. Because who have they played this year that's been, like, really good? For them to be whatever they... Or are they 6-0?
Yeah, they're 6-0. They're the only undefeated team.
I will say the best thing they did for him was go out and got DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. And they have AJ Green, who's a veteran old guy, but still, he's wore down. But he's a good veteran, like third, fourth receiver.
I think he's their
DeAndre,
three.
you got Christian Kirk.
When he plays, yeah.
He's good. Was it? There's a Moore too, right? I believe.
Is it DJ Moore?
Yeah, I think it's DJ Moore. I think.
No. He's in Carolina.
Is it David? No, DJ Moore's in Carolina.
Yeah.
Is it David Moore?
I don't know.
But yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is a stud. And then now they just traded for Ertz.
Yeah.
And Zach Ertz, dude, he looked good. The day before he got traded. I mean, he's battled injuries too. He's
but I guess if you're Philly, you're kind of in a way tearing it down.
Yeah. So it was a good move, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it worked out for both parties.
Yeah, because really, I mean, you're going to be fine with Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how, like, Kyler is, like, you can tell he likes to throw it first. But he can run.
Well, it's kind of, they're talking about this, like, with Lamar. Lamar wants to be a pocket passer, and nobody wants to, like, think of him like that. And they went back and looked at his college tape and stuff, and there were plenty of plays where he looked to throw, stayed in the pocket, and then when they're like, oh, nobody's open, that's when he scrambled, and that's kind of where his abilities come in.
He's kind of similar to that.
Yeah, but then, like, in the draft process, everyone was like, oh, Lamar's a running back, Lamar's this, and he's been one of my favorite players to kind of come out and go, oh, I was that, right? And then just completely break the mold, break the stigma.
I like Lamar, too.
I think he's good.
But it's just crazy. You see a guy that's, like, 6... I mean, he's got to be 5'10", 5'11", tops, Kyler. But, like, even his accuracy of how good he can throw.
Mm-hmm.
Even on the run. Or, like...
He's got a big arm, too. It's weird.
Arm.
Well, I guess that's what the baseball comes in. Yeah.
It's just impressive. That's also impressive. He literally been, what, number 1 pick or top 5 pick in the draft.
I mean, if I were him...
towards baseball.
I mean, if I were him, I would have gone baseball. Mainly because the A said that we'll give you so much more money, and that's fully guaranteed regardless. Every baseball contract is guaranteed.
It's crazy.
But I guess if you're doing it for kind of the accolades and to get your career rolling, football's the way to go, because baseball, there's no saying how long he'd be in the minors. But with the amount that they were willing to give him, it kind of goes on to say, well, he probably won't be there very long. Yeah. Especially in Oakland, where it's a good team.
Yeah, they have a good team. I didn't really... I was talking about it before, too, on one of our generations of recordings.
Episode 20 point whatever.
Yeah. The salad my wife made, really good salad, but the hot salsa, super hot, but what she did was she cut up jalapenos in there, and the seeds were everywhere. So, like, it wasn't even like the jalapenos itself, it was like the seeds were like in... I'm not even kidding you.
They're like embedded.
Yeah, it was like there was no way around it. It was like the hottest salad I ever had, but it was really good.
Well, and I feel like if she goes, "Wow, this is hot," then you should probably not eat it.
And she did. And I like just kind of was like, "It's not that bad."
Yeah, like don't be a baby.
Yeah, and
then you were a baby.
It was literally the hottest thing I think I've had in quite some time. Who's that? Is that Singletary or is that Moss?
You know, the thing with
Moss.
the Bills is I don't know anymore. Because
Moss. Singletary was like their leading guy, and then Moss now is like.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. He's got a nice suit. I like the plaid.
Yeah, I like that too.
That's sharp.
Fresh. Mm-hmm.
I feel old that we're talking about suits.
Yeah. He was a former player, Louis Riddick. I think he played for
Philly.
The Philly? Yeah, okay.
I think he played for Washington.
I'm thinking Theo Riddick, though. He played for Detroit.
Oh, yeah, he was a running back.
Yeah, running back from Detroit. But I knew he played too, but I couldn't remember where. You think they score here in this drive?
You know, it's 2nd and 6 from...
touchdown.
Is that not interference?
Apparently not.
Oh, good for the Titans. Wow. I mean, granted, we don't have the volume on or anything, but...
sorry, we apologize. We were kind of sidetracked this last. But you can't blame us. We've already recorded this like 5 freaking times, so this is kind of where we're at. Right?
Yeah.
We do have a couple of guests in the
pipeline,
and some pretty big guests too. I should say, well-known people for the most part.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
big to us.
It's big to us, yeah. So we'll see. We're still kind of transitioning and trying to figure out, schedules and all that. But that is kind of our plan. Otherwise, you'll see us next week, hopefully with 2 mics. 2 working mics. We have 2 mics.
Well, I mean, they work.
They do work. It just sounds like I'm like
super loud.
I was bringing the Talladega reference earlier, and
I can
bring the other one where it was like the car handled real well, where it's like speaking really loud. It sounded like I was like yelling into the microphone, even though I was like far away from the mic. So,
God, I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but I kept referencing Step Brothers the other day.
Fantastic.
Oh, great.
Those movies are so good.
So dumb, but so good.
Dumb, but so good. Yeah, exactly. So next week, it'll probably just be us two. Hopefully with 2 mics, we can just lounge and we can talk more golf and some other random stuff. And we look forward to talking next week.